my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player and go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, what we're going to review this week?
Well, Dave, it was your pick, and you thought, you know what, I'm going to get you, Chris. So you picked a movie, Dave. An English horror movie from 1989. It was actually written and based on a book by Mr. Bram Stoker. It's produced by Ken Russell. It stars Amanda Donoghue, Hugh Grant, Peter Capaldi from Doctor Who fame. Hate Doctor Who. Sammy Davis, Dave, and I've got a story about Sammy Davis. So we are going back to 1988. This is The Lair of the White Worm. Dave, what say you about this fucking movie you've stitched me up with?
Going in there early. so I just thought, I mean, we're running out of Year of the Stitch-Up, aren't we? So we're getting towards the end, and I thought, right, I'm going to couple up two things that are, I know over the course of the year and probably the last few years as well, I've been able to identify some more precise points that you don't like in movies. So one thing being British movies. So the British movie basically doesn't have a chance because if there's posh people, you don't like that. If there's regional accents, you also don't like that. So basically I thought, right, let's make sure we get in an English or / British movie and then also horror. So let's add that in as well and sprinkle it with a bit of low budget stuff. All we're missing is a bit of Christopher Eccleston, Raymond Khaleesi rocking up or something. But we've got, as you said, Peter Capaldi, we've got Hugh Grant in there. And so I thought, yeah, let's do it. I've had this one in my back pocket for a while, to be honest. So it just seemed the perfect time. And like I say, coupling up those two variables there. Now, where did I see this the first time? It was probably on TV because obviously it was a massive commercial flop. So this was a joint UK-US venture. It cost about 2 million, made about 1.2. So even the modest expectations of making a profit were not realized. So I can't pinpoint it exactly, but to say it was probably early 90s. So this would have been before I went away, and this would have been when I was channel surfing for something to watch late at night, Chris.
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
So obviously it just seemed strange. Now, this must have been kind of post Notting Hill and 4 Weddings and a Funeral, actually, just thinking about it. So because I'd recognized Hugh Grant and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then you've got no idea, you know, mostly it looks like just low budget shit, and then occasionally something will pop up and you're like, ooh, this is interesting. I had no idea what it was actually called, what it was, and it was only, you know, years later I was thinking back to it, and then I went searching out, what was that low budget movie Hugh Grant was in, and found out it was Lair of the White Worm. Was also surprised to learn that it was based on a Bram Stoker was it a novel or short novella or something like that, but Bram Stoker basically put this together. Now, Dracula has obviously been done to death, you know, so many times, so many incarnations. We've covered multiple Dracula-type movies with Van Helsing and what was it? The Legend of the Seven Golden Samurai.
Yeah.
So, but this one seems to be only this one film. So strange that it's not been, or probably not that strange that it's not been taken up multiple more times. But so yeah, I was chomping at the bit for you to watch it more than me to rewatch it, to be honest. But Chris, anything to draw on at all?
No, I think the only thing is I have seen some sort of Hugh Grant type picture of him from when he was younger, you know, like a sort of filmography thing about his career and that. So I've definitely seen him. No, I have no reference, Dave. I mean, Amanda Donahue, everything. Without a doubt, if I'd have been channel surfing this good old, mid-90s, fucking hell, I'd be fucking shoulder had been pulled out before it even got to the fucking first credits. But again, it's like, it's a good starting point, isn't it, for like Hugh Grant? I suppose Peter Capaldi, I didn't know anything about. I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but then I realised it was him after about 10 minutes of watching this movie. And I did say I had a story about Sammy Davis, Dave. So Sammy Davis is the blonde girl with like the bob haircut. She's there at the start, into Peter Capaldi. So straight away, now I am rewatching, Dave, my favourite TV show of all time. I've not watched it this year, which is sacrilege, because I usually watch it twice a year. Alvida's Own Pet. So in the second series, in episode 1, Mr. Wayne Winston Norris, played by the late Gary Holton, he's got to see Mr. Barry Taylor, who is Timothy Spall, and he picks up 2 hitchhikers, Dave, who are students, go to Fishguard. They're not going to Wolverhampton. And one of them's called Pippa, Dave, with a Brummy accent. And as soon as I saw her, I went, that's fucking Pippa, and nobody will get this if you don't watch Alvida's Own Pet. But Timothy Spall's doing his Brummy accent. I go, do you play ping pong, Pippa? And all this. And it's a bit of a Alvida's Own line that's quoted. But straight away I was like, that's got to be her. And it is. And she's been in a few other things. She's been in Crime Watch Day for an episode of Alvida's Own Pet from 1985, and then I think it was this movie, so she did well for herself. But then she was in stuff after that. But yeah, straight away I was like, oh, well, at least I know that reference. But other than that, David, I don't know anything about this movie whatsoever. And the simple fact is, it was a 90-minute movie, and I was so pleased it was. But let's not ruin anything before we get into the review.
Well, interesting you say about, Sammy Davis being in other stuff. I thought, well, so Amanda Donahue, I recognise mostly, to be honest, from Liar Liar.
Yeah.
Obviously years later after this one. So I thought, well, I wonder if she'd been in anything before this. And she'd been in, and it all gets a little bit murky, I would say, Chris, because she was in the group of, I guess, hangers-on, I would say, around Adam and the Ants.
Okay.
She was in the video and music. And then I think she was in Stand and Deliver as well, but I didn't go back to rewatch that one. But I went back to go to watch through Ant Music, and like about halfway through, it unmistakable, you can see her there. And to be honest, she doesn't look like a 16-year-old, but you still like, I think Adam Ant, or whatever is that, they've obviously been his stage name, but whatever his actual name was about mid-20s at the time. She was 16. I'm like, it's all a bit weird, but yeah. But anyway, Chris, enough waffling. Let's get into the trailer. In the rolling hills of England, something ancient has awakened. Something slithery, something very Ken Russell.
Yes, The Lair of the White Worm. This is supposed to be Hugh Grant, Dave, it's not. The only film brave enough to ask, what if Dracula was a posh snake fetishist? I don't know what that means. With a flute. Is that even a word, Dave? Carry on.
Starring Amanda Donahue as Lady Sylvia Marsh, an aristocrat who loves 2 things: virgins and venom.
She spends the whole film seducing people, hissing and biting blokes like she's judging Britain's Got Fang. And I've got to say, Dave, I had a semi on the whole time.
And Hugh Grant. Yes, that Hugh Grant. A lord who clearly thought this was a BBC costume drama until a snake orgy started.
He's got the haircut, the accent, and absolutely no idea what's going on, just like the audience, and pretty much like every performance since then from Mr. Grant.
There's pagan rituals, giant worms, and enough Freudian symbolism to keep a therapy group busy for years.
That's very easy for you to say, Dave. Half the film looks like a carry-on movie, the other half like a hallucination after bad cheese.
The Lair of the White Worm, where the soundtrack is pipes, the acting is pulp, and the tone is pure fever dream.
It's gothic horror meets softcore snake handling. You really terrify, you confused and mildly aroused, which I was sometimes all at once. I'm very confused, Dave.
So grab your crucifix, your wellies, and your most awkward dinner party smile.
Because you're about to meet a woman who makes Medusa look like she works at Waterstones. This is The Lair of the White Worm.
Angus Flint is a Scottish archaeology student excavating the site of a convent at Mercy Farm, a Derbyshire bed and breakfast run by the Trent sisters, Mary and Eve. He unearths an unusual skull which appears to be that of a large snake. Angus believes it is connected to the local legend of the Diampton worm, a mythical snake-like creature from ages past, said to have been slain in Stonerig Cavern by John Diampton, the ancestor of the current lord of the manor, James Diampton. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
Well, Dave, this cheap, and then there's this. I don't know what it is. I say it all the time. I hate these UK type movies, you know. I know it's a horror movie as such, but I just hate them because we're from the UK and you know, like, you know, I know people from America, like, oh, I love the UK, I love the British thing, you know, the accent, I love like the Queen and everything, and a lot of perception of us is tea and crumpets, but this is the epitome of like the UK for me. Just, it looks like a student movie. Like it's been done on a cheapo, like, you know, film grad is trying to make something. And Peter Capaldi, fucking hell, Dave. How did he get... I mean, Doctor Who, I hate. Sorry, John Hammond, I know he loves that. I can't stand Doctor Who and that. And I know he's been in loads of other things, but he's not good in this. Because at first I did think, is this Hugh Grant? You know, the floppy hair and that, 'cause you don't really see his face. And then obviously the accent, he's Scottish. Like, it can't be Hugh Grant. And to be fair, Hugh Grant is just playing the same character he's played, Dave. Other than when he played the guy in The Gentleman, the reporter guy, where he did have an accent. He's just the same character and everything, isn't he? And this is like, let's just typecast Hugh Grant as the same person over and over and over again. So this is the start of the like posh English gentlemanry, whatever he's supposed to be. Yeah, there's some terrible acting in this, some really bad acting. I mean, he's there dusting off the fucking skull. And they're all taking the piss, saying it's a, you know, he's at car, he's doing it on, that girl's there. And the next minute, we're at some fucking shakedown, hoedown, aren't we, Dave? Where everyone's getting fucking excited. It's almost like a keys in the bowl type thing. Honestly, you've picked an absolute stormer here, because this is terrible.
Oh, I've got a little tear in my eye, Chris. I'm just so happy. Oh, yes. Don't know about the acting. I mean, it does seem like it's a weird Emmerdale spin-off.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is with Capaldi, he's an archaeologist, but he's digging about 3 feet into the ground, about 10 feet away from the bed and breakfast. I'm like, okay, but when they built the house or the B&B, I mean, they would have had to put foundations in. And this fucking massive snake head has not been there for like hundreds of years or anything. So, yeah, just the close proximity, it's one of those things that I don't know why, it just put me off straight away. And the weird ADR, you know, when everyone's speaking, it's so obvious. A lot of it's shot outside, obviously not on a proper sound stage. So they obviously film it and then record all the sound and voices after. But it's just slightly out of sync. And I'm not even sure, like, certainly for the two sisters, I wasn't sure. Is that their actual voices? Because it didn't sound like they were northern. You know, I mean, it's Derbyshire, isn't it? But I associate that like with a Yorkshire type accent, and it just all seemed a bit strange. But I must admit, watching it this time though, I just had this warm, nostalgic glow about it. Just because I've probably seen it, I don't know, maybe all the way through probably once or twice over the years, and but coming back to it now, within the context of making you watch it, straight from the off, I was loving it. It's just because it was everything. It was the Britishness, the low budget to it aspect to it. This perfect, intact. I mean, fucking archaeology doesn't generally work like that. They find this tiny little, or unless they find like a fossil sort of pressed into a rock or something, you don't find a perfectly fucking intact skull, from hundreds or thousands of years ago or whatever. I guess it must be hundreds of years because there's a legend of this thing being slain before, but so I'm assuming it was in a few hundred years ago. But yeah, no, from the off, I was loving it.
Well, I must admit, there's no way that I wouldn't have had this in there if I could get a video copy, because Lady Sylvia Marsh, Dave, player on Donny, is absolutely stunning. And it's one of the scenes that got me. It wasn't even her character, it was Hugh Grant's. Was it his missus? And she's dressed in like some white sussied up outfit, like that, some proper like mini skirt type. Oh no, miss, like a dress, a really short dress. And I'm like, you wouldn't wear that round the house. And she's acted as if that's normal. And I'm like, oh, this is taking a turn. And then when we do see Lady Sylvia, honestly, she's stunning. She's absolutely stunning, isn't she? And we get like the flashbacks, where the girls see like the Roman soldiers are there, aren't they? Jesus in so bad, so the Roman soldiers with the women, and obviously they're attacking them. But it's like when she picks the kid up, the fucking scout or whatever he is, and that is Chris Phelps' ultimate dream, innit? She's like, oh, just get in my car, come with me. The young Chris Phelps, Dave, would have been, I'd have been absolutely petrified. Probably would have run away. I'm giving it all the Bertie Big bollocks. I probably would have shit myself and run away. But when it's that bit that gets me, and I'm like, oh, this is crossing a little bit of a line. But he did look older than 16, did he? He looked like one of them lads who sort of, is he young, is he old? A bit like Simon and you probably know what's Coronation Street, Dave, but like he was literally from the age of about 12, he looked about 35, but then never really got any older or taller or anything. So I kept thinking, I don't think this kid is 16, but that whole scene when she's Lair crossing with the fucking stockings and suspenders on there, the high heels, I'm like, I know exactly why Dave's picked, and I know exactly why Dave enjoys this movie as well. This is up there as like a proper RTL special, Friday night special. Oh, what's this I've just come across? But like
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, definitely. But the story is just all over the place, isn't it? Like, Peter Capaldi is not good in this. He obviously must get better as he gets older, but like his character, Hugh Grant as well. Fuck me. I said about him playing the same character. He's terrible in this, day. He's absolutely awful. But again, there's no story to this at all. It's just that every time we see Lady Sylvia, which I'm not complaining at, Dave, she's got rather revealing clothes on, hasn't she? And most of the women have rather revealing clothes on in this movie. It's really bizarre this has got made.
No, I think you're being a bit harsh on the acting. I think that's your anti-Britishness coming across there, and the low budget nature to it all. But because you're saying about the scout looking, basically looking the same for years later. I think Capaldi's a bit like that, to be honest. I saw him, and for me, he was instantly recognisable. But when you've got enough dialogue at the start, haven't you? So I mean, it's straight into it. He finds the massive worm skull, and you think, well, that's gonna, come back, and then you get the explanation. So they're at this, they're having this big celebration, aren't they? And you've got the current lord of the manor, Hugh Grant. He's chopping the worm. It's almost like one of those Chinese dragon sort of things, isn't it? So
yeah.
Chops the worm in half to signify it being slain, and he's chatting to Peter Capaldi there, and he's eating all these, these wriggly, what look like possibly might be spaghetti or something like that, just eating and eating and eating them. And it says, "Oh, I'm glad you like the local delicacy. Not many people like earthworms." And I do remember that bit. But he says about don't take the idea of the worm too literally. It's from the Anglo-Saxon word worm, I think he says, or something like that, which can mean serpent or snake or something like that. So again, it's nicely setting it up, because look, the idea of a worm being something scary is slightly ridiculous, isn't it? But he's planting the seed there, not the only seed that's been planted in this movie, but planting the seed that this could be actually more of a snake than a worm. And so I think that was a good setup for me.
Yeah, you, Dave, for you.
But what I would say as well, because you talked about the scout, I think probably that was maybe the scene I remembered the most, and that was 100. That was one that imprinted on my brain and thought, oh, I must go back and watch that whole movie at some point, because let's face it, when you're watching that as a mid-teenager, it doesn't seem terrible, and even the way he kind of ended his life, it's like worth it.
I mean, she lays into him a little bit. She's like, "You've got bad halitosis, you've got bad BO, Do you think I'm going to go any further and let you look at me? I don't think so." And she paralyzes him, doesn't she, and everything. And I think you're right, because you also get that fucking plane scene. As the stewardesses, Dave. What is going on here? It's like a fever dream. This is like a dream you have yourself, and you wake up and go, "Oh no, I'm not surrounded by a load of fucking, stewardesses on the plane or something." It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because I always think like, where do they come up with these ideas for these sort of movies? Like, is it someone who's some guy's sexually frustrated or something? I don't get it. I mean, like I say, Lady Sylvia is just the best character in this movie, because actually, I know I jumped a little bit, but the scene after this is when Hugh Grant's missus has got that weird dress on with the fucking high heels in the middle of a fucking field, Dave, in fucking Derbyshire, and she's got this like outfit on. Then she gets scared, doesn't she? She like jumps back and all that sort of thing in the corner and everything, and Hugh Grant just seems to be like, yeah, he's there, but he's not a lot affects him, really, if that makes sense. I can't explain it. He's very nonchalant with what's going on to his missus and stuff. It's really bizarre the way he's acting this one.
I mean, it's unmistakably Hugh Grant, though, isn't it? It's the same Hugh Grant that we get in Four Weddings and Notting Hill and every fucking other thing that we've seen. It's coming up to, obviously, December. We're going to have to watch Love Actually, and he's the same in that. It's just that, charmingly, upper class sort of befuddled, nice guy, Yeah.
Middle class wanker who goes to Oxford and he's had a silver spoon put in his mouth all his life. That's Hugh Grant's character, Dave. Yeah, that's not real life, but that's who he plays in every character. Floppy hair. I did like his hair, Dave. I loved his hair forwards to the funeral. I always wanted his fucking haircut. He always had pretty cool hair on a Hugh Grant, to be fair. He's good in, actually, to be fair, he's good in The Gentleman because he's a different character, but he's actually, I quite like him in, what's it called, Bridget Jones as well, because he plays like a wanker in it, done a bit of a thing. But I know we might not see in the latest one, but the latest one, he's actually pretty good in it. He's sort of playing, the character's almost likable, whereas in all the others, he's a dick in it, a bit of a playboy. But
wasn't he?
Yeah, he's good in the new one.
And actually, I'm going to do a bit of a 180 here. Have you seen Heretic? I mean, I don't know why I asked the question, because why would you ever watch that? But
is it a horror movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the two girls.
Yeah,
we watched it. Yeah, we watched it recently, me and Sam, and I hated every minute of it, Dave. He's good in that. He's good in it. I was
very good in that.
Watching a horror movie, and I'm like, no, we're not. And anyway, we did watch it, Dave, and I was like, oh, this is. But he is good in it. He is good. The girls are stupid because he's like, don't go down there into the cellar where it's dark and dingy. What do they do? They go down there, Dave. Well, anyway,
it's a horror movie, so.
Yeah, no, but he is good in it. He is good in that, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, we get the policeman as well, don't we? I think that's the first clue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you get Lady Sylvia. She's paying attention because he's been bitten by a snake, an unidentified snake in the woods, and she's sort of, sucking the venom out and stuff. I think that was the first clue that something might be on its way that's maybe not quite right, but also a little bit saucy.
Yeah, and it's the guy out of Return of the Jedi, Dave, gets taken out at the start, doesn't he? That English guy, he's the one.
Oh, you know what? I've seen him in loads of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He is the Rancor sort of master, isn't he?
Yeah, he gets taken out. He is in loads, but I think you're right. Like, I mean, really, it's like a werewolf type movie, isn't it? They just substitute the werewolves with the fucking snakes, haven't they, really? It's the same scenario. They get bit, and then ultimately, you become, or a vampire, the same type scenario. It's a horror DNA.
Definitely the vampire thing for me. I think it's a vampire movie, and you just happen to have this white worm in there as well. And I was going to say Lady Donahue, Lady Sylvia, she's like this acolyte who seems to have these superpowers. You mentioned about that. I mean, really fucking graphic scene. Now, I hadn't realised until going back that this was Ken Russell, who's, a British director, quite famous for all these weird psychedelic, this surreal imagery and stuff like that. He did Tommy. Did you ever see Tommy back in the day?
No.
He did something called Altered States, but I remember seeing Tommy as a kid, and I was like, fucking hell. I probably didn't have that in my vocabulary at the time, but I remember it was, scared the shit out of me as a kid. But yeah, I might have to go back and watch that at some point. But yeah, so, I mean, that was a bit much, wasn't it? All the whole Jesus thing, getting attacked by the snake, and then you got all the fucking raping and pillaging by the Romans and whatever. The fuck's going on here?
This is a Saturday night in Roman times. It's fucking horrendous. But you're right. I do think, I mean, I'm taking a mick out of the river, like Capaldi and Hugh Grant, but Lady Sylvia, I think, is menacing as a baddie. I do. I think I do respect the hustle, Dave. Like, I mean, any opportunity that she's dressed how, if I was going to watch a horror movie, I'd want the baddie to be dressed, Dave. But she is. I think it works when she kills that Kevin, like say the fucking scout and everything. It does get worse for everyone else, doesn't it? And everyone who she meets, she just manipulates, doesn't she? She's like the venom, and she's trying to act like a snake sometimes, the way she uses her body, like the way she's sort of the cadence of what she's doing. I can clearly see what she's going for in this character, but it just takes me out when she's just like absolutely dressed as a fucking teenage lad's wet dream, basically, because she's when she's talking, I think her acting's okay. She's menacing, isn't she? And you can believe it. But then, like, everyone else around her is so fucking hamming it up. Like, there's just, like, the payoff isn't there, I think, sometimes. But I do think some of the effects are pretty good for its time. I mean, there's a bit with the fire and that in the background. You can clearly see, like, it's two two things on top of each other, the way that you would edit it then. But I do think there is some pretty good effects in certain points of this, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you say about Amanda Donoghue using a body like a snake. I mean, none more so. We keep going back to the Scout, which is strange, isn't it? But but when he starts playing the mouth organ, starts playing the old harmonica there, and she's sort of like almost being charmed like a snake. So it is weird. She is this acolyte, but she's definitely more than just a follower. She does have this vampiric quality or something. So yeah, I thought that was a good scene.
It was, and it was. And you know what, you say that, I'd say what got me, I was fucking crying at this bit, was that he's called Paul Brooks, the one out of Return of the Jedi, and that's his name, the actor.
Yes, Ernie the pillage.
Ernie, when he goes down, Ernie, and he takes Mary, doesn't he, into like that sort of like, they go down, don't they? And then he reveals his thingy. It's when Peter Capaldi gets the bagpipe.
Yeah.
And you can see that Paul Brooks has been studying, and obviously there's no internet. He's been trying to study how snakes move.
Yeah.
And it's fucking terrible. And he comes up, doesn't he? He's about to sort of kill her. For ages, his mouth's open. Them effects are horrible. To be fair, I can imagine if I was a kid, I'd be fucking shitting my pants if that, like as a bad, because he's got the proper snake mouth, the fangs and everything. That was pretty good. But it's when he comes up and he's charming him with the bagpipes and he lifts it up and he starts moving around him. And then Capaldi's character, obviously for Angus, he absolutely gets out of breath and he goes for him again. Then he's moving into him like a snake. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking terrible. He's like, I'm trying to move. He's a big bloke, isn't he? He's not elegant on his feet. If it was Lady Sylvie, you'd get away with it and go, she did, like you say, she did do that a little bit earlier. But that scene was like a fucking comedy for me. He's absolutely terrible. He's trying to be like light-footed and move. I'm doing it now, Dave. He's always trying to do Van Damme, Van Damme in Kickboxer when his hips are going, when he starts like dancing. He's trying to, but he's terrible. He's fucking, I'm fucking cringing now watching it, but I was pissing myself when I watched that, honestly. The hairs on the back of my neck are going, because it was so stupid. And it's one of the ones when I'm watching it on my own, coincidentally, with the curtain shut day, I'm watching it on my own and I'm thinking, I wanted someone in the room with me to go, are you seeing that? I wanted you to be there to go, you're fucking seeing this. But honestly, that was comedy gold. I could tell what he was doing, but my God, is it bad.
But I think this is one of the scenes that makes this movie iconic as well. I mean, it is nonsense, isn't it? And the idea that if you have these kind of vampires who worship this snake, they are also snake-like themselves, and so can be charmed, like we see in the king cobras and stuff be charmed and whatever. So I thought it was a brilliant scene, to be honest. Not because it was great, but because it was just that campy trash horror nonsense, really. And obviously somehow, because there's obviously figured out the legend, and there's some truth to the legend in this, and so Angus Flint, the most ridiculously stereotypical Scottish name in the world, is basically like, he's the hero, isn't it? 'Cause it's a weird ensemble. And what you don't really have is a proper protagonist. And I guess that is where it's the clue that they maybe are leaning a bit more into the softcore stuff. Because, Lady Sylvia Marsh is really the central character, isn't she, to the whole movie. And Angus Flint, is sort of the hero, but I don't know how much we really care about him. Hugh Grant, Lord James D'Anton, we don't massively care about him either. So I think that's the clue of what they're going for. But yeah, I mean, he kind of, when he's got the bagpipes there, and like you say, he's been hunted down by Ernie, kind of clumsily trying to mimic a snake. I'm thinking, how are you going to get out of this one? And so he just happens to fall awkwardly onto this sundial, and you get that kind of effect. And like you say, this is 88, so you got to forgive it for the effects and stuff. But yeah, I thought, I'm sure I've seen GIFs and stuff of this scene. I do think it is quite a famous one, this one.
It's funny you should say that, because these bits in the movie, I've never seen it. Honestly, I haven't. I'm not bullshitting. But these bits in the movie where I was like, it's this been on one of them, as I said, like a Channel 4 talking heads, the greatest British movie. You get all these dead fucking, people who are just like nothing, like minor Z celebrities, and they're talking about this movie like they've seen it, and you can clearly say, oh, it's one of the great, Hugh Grant's great in it. There is bits though I feel as if we're familiar. I'm glad you've said that, but because obviously it's not my bag, horror movies at all, and I avoid them at any fucking opportunity. But again, what I said before about the Hugh Grant sort of filmography, I've definitely seen his with the hat on and everything, like that RAF hat he had on.
Yeah,
I've definitely seen that about him. There's been something I've watched, so maybe it was something to do with him. Maybe, I don't know, but there is. And look. I remembered the movie, let's, taking the piss to the Lady Sylvia. And it's not Hugh Grant, but there is bits in this that I do feel as if I've seen somehow, or maybe I've come across it. But I think even the idea of him, Angus getting this serum in it, and he thinks he's figured it, and it's a fucking arthritis stroke, Dave. And then you
twist right at the end.
I mean, that's at the end. I know we've jumped a little bit, but yeah, the fact that like Lady Sylvia, they get her put in a hole, and Dave, as anything, it could have been episode the A-Team, a grenade. You can't beat a grenade, Dave. Forget fucking magic or anything. Just throw a grenade in there. That'll take him out. But I think you sort of know with this movie that even though we're going to get a conclusion and Lady Sylvia's probably going to die, there's got to be a twist. Because with these horror movies, there always is even if they don't make a sequel, and then we find out that Angus, it wasn't, a serum, and he's like doing the whole Dr. Jekyll thing at the end anyway, he's smiling, which is quite menacing, actually, to be fair. And you see the wound on his leg. I hated the movie, but I think if I'm getting I'm getting older, Dave, I sort of understand why you liked it. I don't know why I would have liked it, but I sort of get why it's a bit of a, because he sits at about 6.1 on IMDb. So I think for a lot of people, this will be a classic. And looking at some of the user reviews, it is, and some people are like, this is terrible. But I think you've got more people that like this than hate it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely in that bracket of a cult movie, with a cult following. And I can't believe you've skipped past the sunbed scene, because I know that you're thinking when you're watching that scene, well, surely if she's a vampire, she can't, be exposed to UV rays. That's what I was thinking.
I definitely wasn't thinking. I was thinking if she moves a bit to the left, young Chris would have been really happy watching this. Yeah, Dave, sorry, we did skate over that one. I don't even know where I can start with this. I'm getting cancelled. But yeah, I may have seen movies in the past with sunbeds, Dave, and in the past, not now, but yeah, in the past.
Yeah, so I mean, leading up to this bit, obviously Eve, one of the sisters, is in this trance, and she's just, again, very much like the vampire trance. So she's completely, subservient to Lady Sylvia Marsh, and we get this scene, and I think it was a little bit saucy, wasn't it? And I don't think I saw that the first time while I was channel hopping, but definitely younger me would have remembered that. But also, I mean, there's other kind of iconic bits. I mean, Hugh Grant gets to chop a kind of vampire in half, because their mum, so the mum and dad had gone missing, hadn't they? And the sister's mum and dad had gone missing, and then turns out she's there, and she's actually a vampire. She actually she kills. No, she bites Dorothy, doesn't she? At one point, but then, like say, Hugh Grant sort of gets his historic moment. He sort of falls into a drum kit, I think, when he's swinging round with the sword. But yeah, I think, again, there's just lots of little bits in the middle that were quite horror. So it was like sprinkled with horror and sauciness. Yeah.
A perfect mix, Dave, for a pubescent lad like yourself and me, to be fair. I'd have known every single fucking data point and timestamp in this movie, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. But I know, honestly, you've done your job on this, because I fucking hated it. But then towards the end, I was sort of like, I think Lady Sylvia just might knock it up a point or two, Dave. Let's just say that. I think she's iconic.
Yeah. Couple of points maybe. But Chris, anything else, or should we get into our final review?
No, let's go. So Dave, as I say, great pick. Hated every minute of it to start with. Hated every minute of it.
Every minute?
Well, not every minute, but maybe at 19 minutes, 44 minutes in, Dave. 1 minute, 2, allegedly. But no, honestly, like, it's a terrible movie. I think, like, Peter Capaldi's pretty poor in this, and he's hard to pull as, like, the main hero. Hugh Grant is just Hugh Grant. But Amanda Donoghue, she's definitely the star of the show, Dave. And not just because of the obvious, I'm taking the piss, like, doing the the Chris Phelps, of sleazy Chris Phelps sort of thing from being a kid. I think she is pretty good as a baddie. I think she's menacing. There is that little bit of anxiousness you're watching. It does help that she's wearing 6-inch heels, Dave, as well, but that's another story. But no, I think I'm going to put this in Elm Street. It is terrible, but it's something about it where I would probably recommend it just to stick someone else up, Dave, whereas most of the time I hate him. I'd be like, oh, watch that. It's a great, iconic movie. Maybe if my mate was going to watch it with, say, his missus or something like horror movies, yeah, watch it. And then it'll just stitch him up even more. So, no, Elm Street for me, Dave. And I'm glad you've picked it because I'll never have to watch it again. So, what about yourself?
I mean, for me, this is an absolute iconic British horror movie. You know, we're gone, we're past in the timeline now. We're past the Hammer horror sort of golden age of British horror, I would say, and we're into the lower budget where you've got to make that budget go further. And I feel like it's great to go back and watch the likes of Hugh Grant and Peter Capaldi when they're earlier in their careers, you know, and not really well known at all. And in terms of British stardom, you know, they're right up there, I would say. And yeah, I would say I'd agree with you. I think Amanda Donoghue just steals the show for, you know, just being a really good, you know, that seductive baddie, almost like a femme fatale sort of thing. So I think it's, I was pleased, like, just, again, the reasons for picking it, I just thought it hit every note. I thought you would hate it. I thought you would put it into Alderaan, to be honest. So maybe I've misshot a little bit there, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go a bit higher because obviously I kind of love this movie, but also I'm going to be a bit objective as well. But it isn't great. It probably is one of those so good they're bad. You know, I think maybe that's why I kind of like it more. But yeah, so it's going to be in the middle. It's going to be a hill valley for me. But I was in an R in whether a Pleasantville might be on the cards, but I think that is a bit too much. So bang in the middle.
Yeah, fair enough, Dave. Fair enough. So, Dave, next week it is a Patreon pick, and we are going to be covering a movie, Dave, that has numerous names to it. I've not heard any of them. It's from 1993. You may know it as Road to Revenge or Get Even, but most people know it, Dave, as Champagne and Bullets. It stars John DeHart. It's produced by John DeHart. It's written by John DeHart, and it's directed by John DeHart. So, Dave, let's get into the trailer.
Let's go. So we are watching a trailer where someone's got 17 subscribers, so who knows if this is the real one.
You just made a big mistake. And the other man, white powder.
No. What is this?
This looks like a Lauren Avedon job.
It's so funny the way it's filmed. That's him out of No Shoot. Enemy Trade, you can. William Kingdon.
Yes, that's where I recognise him from.
Yeah. Absolute legend. Fit as a fiddle.
I don't sell my soul.
Ex-army him.
No.
Not...
Don't touch it!
Oh, what is this? That's fucking Joe Exotic. Oh. This is brilliant. What a fit. Oh, dude. That's got to be John DeHart. Fucking bloke. Joe Exotic. Fuck me, Dave. I think we'd have a better job at a trailer. What the hell is this? Jack's pulled one out of the bag here. This could be up there with Lauren Avedon stuff.
I mean, this looks a slightly higher budget than Raiders of the Lost Ark, the adaptation, to be honest.
Not the adaptation, Dave. The adaptation.
That one, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That does look amazing.
You know what? To be fair, when you watch a trailer like that's for me, then I'm thinking, I've got to pick before Christmas. We've not done something like this for ages, have we? Some proper, like, American shit, Lauren Avedon style stuff. I sort of forget how much fun we have watching some of these dodgy movies like this. Oh, I can't wait for this. I am well up for this one, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have been putting the feelers out as well. So I did have a short list for the, what the theme should be for next year. So I think I'd put it out to the patrons and I'm waiting for some feedback on that. But at the moment, I think I had a short list. As if you bear with me, I'll bring it up here. So it is, in no particular order, the year of the shit up. So focusing more on horror movies that might get old by about February, I think. But I thought that was something that we could do. The year of the classic, the year of the hidden gem, the year of redemption. But at the moment, the favourite amongst patrons seems to be the year of pain and pleasure. So interpret that however you like. You could opt for pain, you could opt for pleasure, or you could opt for a little bit of both. That seems to be the forerunner at the moment, or the front runner at the moment.
I would have said, Dave, if I had to pick the year of the double Ds. But no, that might stump everyone. There you go. That stump everyone, not just female, male as well. But there you go. Anyway. Right, let's move on. So if you do want to support us, please get over to patreon.com/the VHS Strikes Back. If you want to email us, the VHS Strikes Back @gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media at VHS Strikes Back. So a big thank you and the roll call of honor for today to Reese, Nick, Greg, Gareth, Mike, Lee, Helen, Dylan, Dan, Justin, Susan, Tim, Matt, Hales, Kent, Lucky Luddy Green, Herbs, Jack, Math Blake, John Hammond, and Mr. Tony Farina. So thank you so much for your support, guys. Keep them suggestions coming in for next year. You know what I mean? The year of the double Ds is looking good for me, Dave. But if it is the year of the pain and pleasure, that could fall under it as well. But there you go.
Absolute. And this, the Lair of the White Worm, could obviously have probably fallen under that as well. But let's see. Now, Chris, for our little musical number, I mean, for me, this movie, it's such gloriously low budget. It's got that 80s feel to it, but we're talking late 80s as well. So it came out in 88. Obviously, I said I probably watched this early 90s, but for me, we're in that kind of glorious time of hair metal or hairspray metal, whatever you want to call it, glam rock. So I had to start with that. And I have put together what I think is an absolute banger. So I did start with I was thinking Alice Cooper initially, but Alice Cooper's a bit more 70s. But I did borrow, inspiration for the title. So this one's called, instead of School's Out, this one's called Worms Out for Summer.
And now from Dampton Hall, let the slithering vicar's red face, caught in the cellar, thoroughly disgraced. The caves are calling, the candles burn. We're all invited to the worm's return. There's silk and sweat, there's holy sin, there's something wicked crawling in. You think it's love, you think it's faith, and you're naked on
I say, Nanny, seems the parish has gone pagan again. Fetch the sherry and the shotgun.
Worms out for good. She's slithering through the neighborhood. Worms out for supper. Worms out for fun. And Lord Dean Anton's coming undone.
Another glorious British summer.
There you go, Chris.
Only 80s that, Dave. I like that.
Yeah, like I say, you've got your glam metal or your glam rock from the 80s, but yeah, proper banger, I think, and yeah, really enjoyed that one. But Chris, I thank you very much for watching this one. I can't believe you didn't send it to Alderon, but I think you have gone soft over the years. You know, you would have definitely, in the early days of the VHS Strikes Back, this is going to the bottom all day long. But I think there is some part of you that is starting to embrace these so bad they're good movies. So let's see.
It, Dave.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, I mean, next week I can't wait for as well. I think that's going to be glorious. But anyway, Chris, thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye now.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back.
That's odd. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go.
All right. Ding, ding.
Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go.
Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on. Come on, ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid fool. Maybe you crazy. I ain't breathing heavy. He's a fool. He's stupid. I've seen you at 6
I must break you.
Angus Flint.
What name? It's called him McSavage, Dave.
We're not sure. He's Jock McTaggart.
He was drinking Bell's whiskey and everything, Dave. He was foreign on
Playing fucking bagpipes as well. Jesus Christ. Angus believes it is connected to the local legend.
Legend, Dave.
Just
Jonathan
Watts.